Welcome. Today, we're going to dive into a truly timeless story from the Quran, one that puts immense power up against the wisdom of the small. We're in Surah An-Nahl, which actually means the ants. And we're about to meet a king who commands armies of men, jinn, and even birds. But, what he ends up learning from a tiny ant and a single bird, well, that's what's going to define the real nature of his power. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Can a king, a mighty king with all the resources in the world, actually learn something from the humblest of his subjects? And can one little bird deliver a message so important it changes the fate of an entire nation? Let's explore these questions as we step into the world of Prophet Suleiman. All right, so let's set the scene. We began with Prophet Suleiman, or Solomon in English. And he wasn't just any king. He was blessed by God with a kingdom unlike any other. He had dominion over humans, sure, but also over the unseen world of the jinn and the entire animal kingdom. And at the very heart of his power was an army that was a perfect reflection of this incredible divine gift. So let's go right to the source. Here's verse 17 of Surah An-Nahl in the original Arabic. Now, even if you don't understand the words, just listen to the sound, the rhythm of it. You can feel the power in the language. It really sets the stage for the amazing scene that's about to unfold. Suleiman's army was just a testament to his unique power. Just imagine it. It wasn't just men. It was also jinn, these unseen beings, and birds, all of them marching in perfect disciplined formation. This wasn't just some show of military strength. This was a living, breathing reflection of divine order and harmony. And that's the crucial point right there. This extraordinary army was way more than just a fighting force. It was a symbol of harmony between different realms of existence, the seen and the unseen, all united under one just ruler. It's a powerful lesson that real power isn't about domination, but about creating order and balance. So as this magnificent army is on the march, it approaches a valley that seems, totally insignificant. But it's right here, in this humble place, that one of the most famous encounters in the entire Quran takes place. Down in the Valley of the Ants, Suleiman, with his divinely given gift to understand animal speech, he tunes into a conversation that honestly any other leader would have completely missed. A single ant makes this desperate yet incredibly eloquent plea to its entire colony. I mean, this ant's speech is basically a masterclass in leadership. It's a clear, direct command to keep its community safe. But it's also an act of incredible empathy. The ant actually absolves the army of any bad intentions, saying they wouldn't crush them on purpose. The Quran elevates this tiny creature, showing us that wisdom and justice, they're not just for the powerful. So, how does the most powerful king on earth respond to this little lesson in justice from an ant? Not with anger, not with arrogance, but with a smile. He isn't offended by the ant's wisdom. He's absolutely delighted by it. And that smile immediately turns into a prayer. This is the real mark of a true leader. He doesn't take credit for his ability. He knows it's a gift from God. He prays for gratitude, and not just for himself, but for his parents, too, acknowledging where he came from. And then he asks for the strength to do good and to be shown mercy. This is power perfected by humility. All right, so the story takes a bit of a turn here. It reveals another side of Suleiman's leadership. We've seen his humility when faced with wisdom. Now we're about to see his unwavering commitment to justice and order. Just think about this for a second. In an army of countless birds, Suleiman notices one single absence. The hoopoe is missing. This small detail tells you everything you need to know about his leadership. In his kingdom, nobody was insignificant. Every single individual, no matter how small, was seen and was valued. Suleiman's response is swift and it's stern. He makes it clear that the absent hoopoe is going to face severe punishment for being AOL. But his threat isn't absolute. There's a really crucial unless in there. See, this isn't the act of a tyrant. This is the decree of a just ruler. While there are serious consequences for breaking the rules, there's also a chance for redemption. The hoopoe is going to get a chance to defend itself, to present a valid reason for why it was gone. This is all about accountability, not anger. And the Quran uses a really specific legal term here, Sultan Mubin, which means a clear and compelling proof. This is the standard of justice in Suleiman's kingdom. No judgment is passed until all the evidence is on the table. It's a timeless lesson in fairness and what we'd call due process. So the stage is set for a pretty dramatic return. The hoopoe arrives, but it doesn't come back with an apology or some lame excuse. Oh no. It comes back with a revelation, news that isn't just going to save its life, but is going to change the entire course of history. I mean, can you believe the sheer guts of this little bird? Its opening statement is just breathtaking. Facing the threat of death, it tells the wisest king on earth, I know something you don't. It's such a powerful reminder that truth doesn't just belong to the powerful. You can find it in the most unexpected places. So what's this earth-shattering news? The hoopoe has come back from the legendary kingdom of Saba, or Sheba, this land of incredible wealth and power down in what is modern-day Yemen. So the hoopoe starts describing this amazing, flourishing kingdom. It's ruled by a powerful queen, known in Islamic tradition as Bilqis. She has immense wealth and sits on this magnificent throne. And what's really fascinating is how the Quran portrays her. Her leadership is just stated as a fact, focusing on her power and her wisdom, not her gender. But the hoopoe's report isn't just about worldly power. Its sharp little eyes have seen right through the veil of all that wealth and splendor to the spiritual reality of Sheba. And this is the real heart of the hoopoe's report. It saw beyond all the gold and the grandeur to the spiritual sickness in Sheba. The people were worshiping the creation, the sun, instead of the one true creator. In Islam, this is known as shirk. It's considered the gravest of all sins, associating partners with God. And this hoopoe, this small bird, had the spiritual insight to recognize this fundamental error, an error that had completely blinded the powerful and wealthy people of Sheba. So, as we step back from this really rich and layered story, what are the big lessons we can take away from these interactions between a king, an ant, and a bird? Well, it teaches us that true leadership is this incredible blend of power and humility, of justice and mercy. It reminds us that wisdom can be found in the most unexpected places, and that spiritual truth is way more valuable than any worldly treasure. And of course, it leaves us with a principle that's just timeless. Always, always listen before you judge. You know, the story of Suleiman, the ant, and the hoopoe isn't just some tale from the past. It's really a mirror for our own lives. It leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? If a prophet could learn such profound lessons from an ant and a bird, what important truths might we be overlooking today? What crucial voices are we just failing to hear?